Welcome to Golden Owls TV. I'm your host, Avery Brooks. Now stay tuned for Good News Glynn. Welcome to Good News Glynn. This is the April edition of Good News Glynn. Stay tuned. It's all coming up next. Welcome to Good News Glynn. This is the April episode of Good News Glynn, and we're thrilled to have Mr. Bill Fallon, County Manager for Glynn County. How are you today?
Yeah, doing great. Pretty nice out. Nice April day. So happy to be here. Thanks for having us again.
Yes, of course. Thank you. I know you're very busy. This is a busy time of year, so we appreciate your time and talking with us today. So tell us about April. What's going on in April with the county?
Yeah, we got a lot going on, actually. A lot of projects. I've mentioned a lot of those before. We actually had a couple of town halls or open houses this month. And so Commissioner Duncan actually had one last week over on St. Simon's Island. And so we talked about a lot of different projects that are going on there. And really the format that we're using for the open houses, which some people don't like, but the majority of people that we talk to really appreciate it because we do some presentations on some hot topics. The commissioner, whoever hosts the open house is there, plus a couple other commissioners. So we had, in addition to Commissioner Duncan, we also had the chairman, Walter Rafalski, and Commissioner Clark out there on St. Simon's the other night. And so we make some presentation, they answer some questions, but a lot of people like it because we bring all our staff there. So all our department heads are there, so people can come up one-on-one and talk about whatever's important to them and get some good solid information, get some the questions answered, and then also just be able to have that discussion. We're there, we're open. We have a lot that we can show people. So we had that one, and then we're going to have one also in April for Commissioner Sweat, District 4. And so that's going to be that's coming up. So same kind of format where we're going to make some presentations on what is important over there, what we're getting a lot of questions on related to District 4, and then have our staff and the commissioners there to answer questions that people have.
Yeah, that sounds great. It's informative, but also it can serve as a social hour a little bit. You know, it's a social outing. Commissioner Tostison was talking about that, sort of letting people mingle and talk, and it's a more casual social setting as well. So that's another perk.
Yeah, for sure. And then a couple of things that we talked about. It's April, so the beaches are starting up. So we did talk about on St. Simon's Island over on East Beach, we have that slough area. And so fortunately, we've been working with DNR. We also worked with Senator Hodges and Representative Townsend, and they were able to get us some money in the budget coming up. So when the governor signs it, as long as he signs it, which we think he will. But we're going to, as I think we had mentioned before, that slough that's over there, it's water that's stagnant. It's not a tidal pool. We've incorrectly kind of called it a tidal pool, but there's no water that gets up there from the ocean that actually cleans it out. And so it's just stagnant water that's over there. And so it really is kind of a safety issue for us. It's behind the lifeguards. And so people do let their kids play in it. I wouldn't, but people do. And so we're going to be able to drain that and then do some scraping on the beach to be able to fill most of that. And we might have to truck in some sand, we'll see. But we're close to getting some final information or final data actually from our engineering firm. That project actually won't work. We won't start on that until probably the winter. And so, so the floating bridges will still be up this year. But again, we're a lot of support from the state, from DNR. And so we're happy to get, I think they're going to contribute about $1 million to us toward that effort, which is fantastic.
That's great. Yeah, I agree. It's a safety hazard at this point and needs to be taken care of. So that's good. Good news.
Absolutely. And so lifeguards, Lisa Gerganis and the whole Parks and Rec team is doing great as far as lifeguards. I think we got a couple of vacancies, but those are filling up quick. So we should have a good amount of lifeguards out there again this summer to help us with the manage the beaches. So we're looking forward to that as well.
Yes, and refresh our memory on the Coast Guard project. I know it's in the works. Will it be finished by spring, summer? I mean, here we are, so probably not. So when do we expect that to be finished?
Yeah, it's going to go out to bid for construction. We didn't get the bids that we thought the first time. So I think I mentioned we're going to split it up. So we're actually going to have a company that hopefully that's going to be able to do the landscape part of it, and then somebody that's going to do the vertical build, which would be that building that we're going to have out there. It's going to match the existing Coast Guard historical Coast Guard station that's out there, which will be pretty cool. But that hopefully get it out to bid. We hope to have a shovel in the ground sometime in July, maybe August. But that one will probably be completed, more towards the fall or into the winter. So for next season. So this year, I think it'll work out timing wise. It'll work out good. So toward the end of the season this year is probably when we'll get started.
Okay, great. Yes. Well, we look forward to that starting and excited for it for next spring, summer. Okay. Anything else I wanted you to touch on our guest today, David West, and then we're going to also try to have somebody from GIS mapping as well. So if you want to touch on those two departments a little bit.
Sure. A couple announcements I just want to make. So we are going to have our quarterly execution review in May. It's going to be May 7th. We're going to do it at night this time. It's going to be at 5:30 because we've heard some people ask about, hey, can you do it at night so we can attend? So we'll see if anybody comes. But it's going to be at 5:30. It's going to be on all the SPLOST projects, which will be good. So as you know, the quarterly execution reviews, we go in, we talk about all the projects, we lay it all out there, and including the cost, where we are as far as the design, where we are as far as the schedule goes. And so we're looking forward to that on May 7th. First Friday, we just did First Friday last week here. And it was actually my office that did it, myself and the county attorney. So we had it out there. So it was pretty fun and then we were able to talk to people about what's going on in Glynn County. And then next month is May. So May is actually Police Appreciation Month. And so it's Law Enforcement Appreciation Month. And so the police department's going to be out there in May. And it's actually, I think, May 1st this year is First Friday. So they'll be out there. So hopefully we can get some of our folks that are watching to come out and talk to the Glynn County Police Department and talk about all the great things that they're doing. And then also in May, the Chamber actually is sponsoring a law enforcement and first responder luncheon. And so it's an award ceremony. It's not only for police, it's for fire, emergency management, and all first responders. So we're looking forward to that. So those are a couple of announcements that I wanted to make. Our next guest a little bit different this month. So we're going to have David West, who is our Chief Information Officer, CIO, over IT, and I think you'll enjoy talking to him. All the things that we're doing as far as the projects, but a lot of it is really internal to what IT does to make the county run. And then we're also going to bring in GIS, and so you're gonna talk to John, and John's going to talk about, as you mentioned, John's going to talk about some of the stuff that GIS does. A lot of capabilities there, and as I mentioned before, it's not just doing the mapping and things for the county. They play a big role when hurricanes, and they're really the first ones out helping code enforcement and the police department and public works and others do kind of that damage assessment. So big role that they play when it comes to hurricanes and other storms. So I think you'll enjoy listening to talking to both of those gentlemen later on today.
Yes, we're very excited. Yeah, we're gonna have David and then John, and the drone stuff is incredible. So we're very excited about that. Yes, well, exciting things coming up, and we look forward to next month. And we appreciate your time today.
All right, and one thing I was going to mention to you, I might take the show on the road a little bit. So I might set up at some different functions that we have, so you and I can actually have our segment at least be maybe something a little bit different, and maybe get some guests to come on with me and just to try something a little bit different. But we have a lot of exciting things that are coming up, so we'll see how it goes next month or the month after. Because in June we're actually starting up Friday Night Hoops again, so we're really looking forward to that. So I'd like to actually maybe do a segment from the gym some night. And you can actually see some of the kids in action playing hoop, or they can maybe come over and talk a little bit about what Friday Night Hoops means to them. So we're really excited about that starting up again this year.
Yes, absolutely. I love that idea. Kind of taking it on the road. I love it. That sounds great because there's so much and it's hard to uh, fit it all into a small show, but
That's right.
hopefully we can get some different venues in there and different people coming on. And that sounds great. So, well, good. Well, congratulations with all the stuff going on and all the hoops that I know that was a big success last year. So I know that's going to be great again this year.
Yeah, we got a lot of great sponsors again this year, so we're looking forward to it. So, and a lot of volunteers. So the police department, fire department, Parks and Rec, Public Works, we really get a lot of people at the attorney's office. We get a lot of our folks like to volunteer and do stuff like that. So it'll be a fun summer, Friday nights for basketball again.
That's awesome. Okay, well, thank you so much. This has been great, and we look forward to our guests, David and John, and we look forward to seeing you again next time.
All right, thank you, Avery.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Stay tuned for more Good News Glynn coming up next. Welcome to Good News Glynn. This is the April edition of the show Good News Glynn, which is all about good news about Glynn County. Today, our guest is David West. We're so excited to have you.
Well, glad to be here, and thank you. It's an honor to serve the citizens of Glynn County, and I don't know, for your new viewers, I don't know if they realize, how far back that your relationship with Glynn County goes. I mean, you were an advocate for Good News Glynn for probably 20 years. I mean, going all the way back to, the Channel 99 an analog, record this stuff on a DVD and stick it in the DVD player and hit it on replay and let our content play over and over. I mean, this was, your partnership goes way before YouTube streaming and us having YouTube channel and all that. So we appreciate what you do as far as the good news of Glynn, because it's not always good news that's reported. It doesn't get as many clicks as some of the other stuff. But yeah, thank you for what you do on the good news part.
Thank you so much for saying that. Yeah, I appreciate that. Yes, for people that don't know, so Glynn County had a little, as you said, analog channel it was channel 99 for a long time. And so the commissioner meetings would play, and then in between meetings, my programming would come on, and it was all about good news. You're right. So that was where we started. We started with Good News Glynn because that's been our mission since day one. So I appreciate you mentioning that, and we're so thrilled to continue the relationship with the county and share the good news. So especially these days, everybody wants to talk about the bad news, and there's so much good going on, and we are thrilled to share that. So
yes. And I hope the citizens appreciate, the capital improvements we've made in our streaming. I mean, our new executive leadership came in a couple of years ago, and they were like, we have to have everything transparent. And so we put a lot of capital into our audio video, and we stream probably more than any county in the state. All of our, our special called, our commission meetings, our finance committee, our bid openings. I mean, even our emergency when we activate for emergency operations, we even stream that content. So I hope the citizens appreciate that, because it's been a lot of work on the IT staff, trying to get the audio video at a very high level, and you can appreciate that for what you do with the good news and all the content of the audio video you do. It's difficult, and it takes a lot of time and effort.
Absolutely. And this is so refreshing to hear, because only you and I really know what goes on behind the scenes. And the fact that Glynn County, was analog, it's just so outdated, and it took a lot to probably get it up to speed. And that is no easy task. So, but everybody's better for it, but it's a big job.
Yes, and I hope that, with our YouTube channel, you can go to YouTube and then just search for Glynn County. And I'm sure you have the setup for Good News Glynn. And you can, our data is archived out there for the citizens to review. And it actually has cut down on open records requests. If they see something or hear something about a meeting, they can go to our YouTube channel and review that data.
Yes, exactly. You can watch a little bit, you can rewind, you can, get the information you need and quickly. So that's awesome. Yeah. So much has evolved and changed over the years. I like this format where we've been doing this show for several months, and it's been really good, and it's a good format. It seems to be working for everybody. So anyway, we're thrilled to have you. So we will go on and talk about you. So your official title is Chief Information Officer.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So tell us about what you do, especially for people that don't know. Underneath you, you have some people underneath you, including GIS mapping. There's a lot that goes on there. So tell us about all of that.
Okay, for IT, it like you said, it is composed of IT and GIS. So within IT, we're the network communications backbone for the organization. I mean, we ensure all technology, infrastructure, everything, and we also are responsible for security. And our drive is to drive innovation, optimize operations. I mean, support business goals, and we want to leverage cutting edge technology. So currently in the IT department, there's 13 employees. We have systems analysts, systems administrators, IT specialists, their supervisors. We have programs analysts, and we recently lost our web content person to the administration department. So the county is in the process of replacing the website. I don't know if you've heard that from your previous meetings with Mr. Fallon, but that's coming this year or next budget year. So after July, we'll be rolling out a new website, and we have a person dedicated to that project. Okay. And so all 13 of those people that we have in IT, they concentrate on the day-to-day operations, and that is everything to do with the county. Anything that touches technology, our staff is out there supporting that. But like you said, we also have a GIS. There's 8 people in GIS. And what we need to do is set you up a separate interview with the GIS manager.
Yes.
For example, they provide public services, including mapping, printing, street addresses, flood maps, property searches. They even have licensed drone pilots on staff. So that would be, that right there could be an interview in itself. So we'll get you set up maybe in the future with the GIS manager.
Well, actually, we're going to try to incorporate him into this show. We'll make some changes. Yeah. So we're going to try to incorporate him later on, and maybe after you in the show. So yeah, so I know that's a big part, and they do kind of work together. Yeah. So tell us more.
Well, the IT department, we currently are working on an IT strategic plan. And within that plan, we are going to accomplish tasks that marry up with the county's strategic plan. And our focus will be on a robust IT infrastructure and include hardware, software, networks, safeguarding our cyber threats. And our team works closely with all departments. And so we have to provide a tailored solution to anything that they're trying to do. And that includes public safety, first responders, the Glynn Brunswick E911 dispatch. We help in that area, mobile communications, any of those areas that touch technology. Our department is out there working. We're behind the scenes. We're considered internal services. So the citizens may not see us directly, but any county employee using technology, we're right there with them, helping them along the way. We also play a key role in digital transformation efforts. We help the organization adapt to new technology like cloud computing, data analytics, and the new one is AI. And boy,
let's talk about that. How does that play into what's going on?
Just when the internet came out, I mean, the internet is fantastic and when used as a tool, but for nefarious purposes, it can be very, very dark. And the same with AI. This is the new cutting edge technology, and it can be used for tools that are fantastic, but we don't even know yet, and we're all scared of the bad parts of the AI. But we use some of it in our presentations. Like if we're doing PowerPoint, you can actually use AI to help you along and clean up your PowerPoints. And it's not going to replace our staff, but it's to enhance our communications. We try to stay competitive in this ever-changing market, and that's where AI is there, and that's hard to keep up with. How does the IT department adapt to this continuous change? That's probably one of our most difficult challenges. But we also ensure that the company's up to date, and just whatever challenges ahead, we want to be out there in front of it.
Yes, exactly. I was going to say, one of my questions is going to be, what's been the biggest change, or what's the kind of central focus? But I guess just updating and keeping up with the latest technology, and also implementing it where appropriate, which is really so interesting because it's everywhere. It's not just one thing or one department. It really, technology is everywhere.
Yeah,
So,
it is our greatest challenge, the change, because the end users, they want the change immediately. But IT, we have to make sure we're within compliance. Is it secure? Is it going to operate on our network? We have to make sure that any of this new technology works on our existing network. So we don't want to waste taxpayers' money on purchasing capital or investments that don't even work. It's difficult enough to get the technology to where it's supposed to be, but you certainly do not want to waste taxpayers' money on something that wasn't vetted out correctly.
Right, exactly. So it's a double challenge, to make sure it's safe and it's working appropriately. Not just, okay, here it is, we can implement it today. There's a lot of vetting and a lot of stuff that goes on before you can get to that point.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay. Well, what else?
So, how long do we have? Because IT is involved in so much. So let's see. Recently, we completed an ARPA grant, and that was for audio video in 9 courtrooms. And those courtrooms were spread out over 4 counties: Camden, Glynn, Jeff Davis, and Wayne. That's the judicial first district or first judicial circuit for Georgia. And we put in all new technology because, we've had some pretty high profile cases here in Glynn County, and we want to stay cutting edge on all of our technology availability for the courts.
Yes.
We also completed something called C-Click Fix. I don't know if you're familiar with that. So you can go to the county's website, and right on the front page, there's a little blue circle. It says C-Click Fix. The citizens can actually interactively open a work order with our staff, and so they can upload pictures and images, and like a pothole, or say if they're building a roundabout, not like that doesn't happen. So if a citizen has a complaint, or if a builder has an issue with the roundabout, and you need a bigger view of what's going on, you could do C-Click Fix, open up a work order. GIS could dispatch with the drone, fly over that proposed intersection or what's going to become a roundabout, and then provide feedback to the commissioners or to the executive leadership, whoever's dealing directly with that citizen. So,
wow,
just a couple of things. We also are getting ready for hurricane season. Unfortunately, that's back June 1st, that starts. And so we're in the process of preparing our emergency operations. We have a Starlink satellite, a couple of Starlinks actually. And so if we lose all communications, we have to get the satellite dishes up as quickly as possible. And those are all part of the emergency operations. We're embedded with all of the first responders and all of the local participants in the Emergency Operations Center. We also support that.
Wow. Okay. My goodness. Well, like you said, we could really spend an hour with you because there's so much to talk about, and there's so many different facets to IT. So it's a big job, and I think we need to wrap it up for today. But we appreciate your time so much, and it's great to see you, and good luck with all the new projects and keeping up with everything. The website sounds like it's going to be amazing. Maybe we can have you back, when that's rolls out in late summer, early fall, and kind of talk a little bit more
Sure, we have a member that would be very more engaged in that. The individual, the webmaster that's working on it with us would be very helpful to have. But like I said, thank you for having us and all you do on the good news part. Again, that is so important for this community.
Well, you're very welcome. Thank you so much. We love it, and we just appreciate your time today. So thank you.
Yes, ma'am. You have a good day.
Okay, you too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Welcome back to Good News Glenn. I'm here with John Centeno. He is head of GIS maps for Glynn County. How are you?
Hi, Avery. How you doing? Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. You're welcome. This is your first time being on the show.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Well, welcome. We're glad to have you. So we were talking with David West, and he was, telling us all about all the things that you do, or mentioning a few of the things, and said it's a lot, and that you would be, great to kind of explain all of that to us. So tell us about GIS.
Sure. Like you say, David West, our IT director. So GIS is a division of IT. So we're part of the IT department, and we're a staff of 7 GIS analysts here at the county. And what we do with GIS is we collect and manage and analyze spatial data. So when I say spatial data, what I'm referring to would be, everything exists in a time and a place, and that's what we look at, is the location and the time, and we kind of analyze the data to look for patterns and analysis.
Right. Now, for people that don't know, what exactly does that mean? I know in relation to hurricanes, I would like to talk about that, that you have drones that go in and might assess the damage. Is that right? But I know there's a lot more. That's something I want to get to, but explain kind of what you mean, or why the spatial analysis is helpful for people in the community.
Sure. So a lot of what we look at is, in our role in GIS, we provide we're a supportive role for a lot of the departments here at the county. And as watching some of the other Good News Glenn episodes, a lot of the projects and things that they're referring to, GIS helps to kind of contribute to that, and to give the decision makers the information to make, good informed decisions on behalf of the citizens of the county.
That makes sense. Okay. So, right. So anytime there's a decision, money's being spent, there's a project, you are the person who collects the data, really,
Sure.
In some regard, and they're able to see that and make an informed decision based on some of the information that you gather. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, we look at, demographic data, census data. We look at, flood elevation data, different things to help, give them information to make informed decisions.
Wow. Yes. So, talk about maybe the three main, or all of the sort of the main points of GIS. I know, you can go on glenncounty.org and you can go look at your house, for example, properties. You might have, anyway, tell us about that. There's a lot of information there. Sure.
And that, with talking about some of the services that we provide, and ownership and land transfer and parcel updates is one of the services that we provide here in GIS to help the property assessor's office, the tax commissioner's office, and also the citizens of the county. And one of the products that we partner with is QPublic, the website QPublic, and that's where you mentioned that you can look up your property information and review your information there. So that's one of the services that we provide in that regard. Another thing that is that we are the addressing coordinator for the county. So addressing, we assign new addresses when new developments go in. And with that, we also update all the CAD 911 system, the maps that the 911 operators use. So new addresses go in, we update their maps to make sure that they get the emergency services that they need.
Wow. So it sounds like it kind of starts in your department, and then it sort of feeds out to everybody. You have to go to you first to provide the information, and then, wow,
Sure.
That's a big job between you and IT and David. Like, that seems to be the hub, the central hub, if you will, of Glynn County.
Yeah. Yes, of the information. Yep.
Wow. Yes. Okay. Tell us more.
Some of the other services we provide, I mean, we do drone flights for mapping. You mentioned that earlier. We would do it to map imagery and also to do damage assessments or debris after storms for emergency management. And then we also, just like I say, provide other analysis, special project analysis for projects that the other departments in the county have going on. We also manage the assets of the county. So like all of the stormwater infrastructure, we have it mapped out and we feed that into another system that's used by Public Works and the fire hydrants. We map out that stuff for the fire department. And so we can help them to locate, services or where they need new services.
Right. Yeah, I was just thinking about East Beach, Schools Inlet, like, are you able to kind of map or keep a record of those changes? That, I don't know if that's more of a DNR thing or y'all can provide information as well.
Sure. For like the beach. So we do a semi-annual study on the beach of St. Simons and the beach on Jekyll, where we go out with the GPS unit with centimeter accuracy. And we GPS various points along the beach from the dunes all the way down to the low water mark in order to create a history of where the elevation of the sand was at any given time. So if they're looking to do anything with that, then they can have that information available to them.
Right. I feel like that's something, obviously, people, tourists or people on the island, might, it seems like everything's always changing, but you have the real data to say, well, you think it might, but it only changed these 2 inches or whatever.
Yeah.
Have you seen a lot of change in that area over recent years?
Yeah, there's a constant beach accretion and erosion that takes place, and we monitor it and keep track of it, but it's a naturally occurring thing. So yeah, it has changed quite a bit since I've been here at the county.
Right. Wow. And tell us about the drones a little bit. Like the drones these days are different. Do you have the newest drones, or the older drones were so big and like little? Things are quite different with that technology. Kind of talk about that a little bit.
Sure. So we have 3 drones here in GIS. We have a Phantom, a DJI Phantom 4 that we use for basically any of our main projects. We also have a Mavic 2, DJI Mavic 2, that has the thermal imaging on it, as well as some other capabilities for emergency management. And then we have an Inspire 2, which it's a bigger drone, but we use it a lot for the camera system that's on it. So a lot of the projects that they fly are for like SPOS projects to, monitor and provide updates. And we put them up on our GIS channel, our YouTube channel for GIS for the county. So all of our drone flights and videos are available there.
Oh, okay. Okay. That's great to know.
Yeah.
So you can actually watch the drone footage and the drone videos. That's cool. Yeah.
So we record them, we put them up on YouTube, and then we send them out to the various departments who requested the flights, and they can put them out on their project pages as well.
Right. Wow. What a great service. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. What else?
Some of the other projects we were working on right now, I mean, we do, like I say, a lot of analysis. And one project that sticks out to me right now is we're doing a gap analysis project for the parks. So a park gap analysis. So we're trying to identify, what's the access to the parks for the citizens of Glynn County, basically, and how many are within so many driving miles or minutes of driving from their homes. So we're doing that. We're also working on our CRS project, community rating system. Is something that we continuously provide information for, where we look at homes inside flood zones, and we monitor that and track that and report that out to FEMA, which also helps to lower insurance premiums around the county. by doing that.
Mhm.
We're going through a website redesign right now, so we'll be looking to put out some more, integrate GIS more into the different departments' websites via our GIS hub sites is what we call them, to basically embed maps and embed applications that they can use for reporting out what goes on in their departments.
Yeah, I was going to say, how is GIS going to be incorporated into the new website? Like you said, there's going to be more there.
Yeah, and we're working with our website coordinator right now, and we'll be basically creating some new hub sites for the departments and provide some dashboards and a few of those things to get the word out.
Yes, that's great. So everybody's waiting for this new website. I know Mr. Fallon talks about it a lot, and it's a big deal, and it's going to be great. So we look forward to that. Yes.
Yeah. Some of the other projects we work on with the fire department to help them with their ISO ratings, and also to identify new locations for fire stations, which we're going to have a new fire station going in, and look at the drive time analysis for the fire department and to help them with their decision making. We also create applications inside the department, so we have a lot of web applications. If you go to the Glynn County GIS page, you'll see a lot of our web applications on there with for like flood zones and elevation data and that type of stuff. But with the fire department, we're creating a mobile applications for data collection, hydrant analysis, our hydrant inspections, and pre-incident planning, so to help the fire department do that portion of their jobs.
Yes, that's so important. So, I think what's interesting is that, and this is pretty much with the whole county, I guess, but you're helping so much within the county, the people within the county, the commissioners, all the heads of the departments, even people that are in charge of SPLOST projects, all of that to gather the data within the county. But you're also available. There's so much information for the average citizen,
Absolutely.
For them to gather as well, tax purposes, insurance, flood zones, all of that. For example, somebody might come and say, I want to build a house on this particular piece of land, of this lot, whatever. What's the elevation? That they would go to you for that, or that department, and able to see the exact elevation and all of that. It's super, super helpful, and I don't want to say interactive, but definitely easy access and accessible to citizens of the county.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what we're trying to do here in the GIS department, is to try to get as much information out to the citizens of the county. So that's why a lot of the applications we have are on our website, and then also the maps we make. We do still make paper maps from time to time. So
Oh, wow.
So we make our paper maps, and we update them annually. We put them on our website. The PDF is available for download for free for our standard maps. And if they want them printed, we can print them here in the office as well. So we try to get as much information out. All of our data, also all of the data that we collect, as far as general data for addresses and parcels and those types of things, we have an open data site. So our data is available for consumption by the public if they choose to download, or they want to get a copy of the addresses or something like that. So,
okay, good.
And that can be found if you search Glynn County Open Data, or if you go to our Glynn County website, there's a data download page. Okay,
great. Wow. Well, there's so much. What else do y'all take care of at GIS?
Well, we do a lot. We do work with plats. So when plats get recorded, or we do reviews for new subdivisions going in or new developments going in. And part of that is to analyze the plats. And then also we store digital copies of the plats, and we provide those out on our Q Public website as well under the subscription side.
Okay. Wow. So all of this is free to the public, right?
Yeah, the stuff that we have out with some of the stuff is under the subscription on the Q Public website.
Okay.
And then if they want paper copies, then there's a fee for printing the copies.
Right.
in the office.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. What else? Anything else? Your
Uh,
their services.
well, I mean, there's so many.
We could be here all day. Yeah.
Yeah. So the like for another example of the asset management system that we use to track like the like I said, the stormwater features, the traffic signs, traffic signals, just about everything that Public Works is using and maintaining. We keep a spatial copy of that data in our software, so that can be integrated with their work order software.
Okay. And do you have anything to do with the roundabouts, these potential roundabouts? There was, of course, been a couple that have already been put in, and they're talking about enough. Do you? I would imagine there could be some data there to share.
Some of the, I mean, some of the data we help aggregate the, collect the data or aggregate it together. A lot of that comes from GDOT. They have traffic counters on the island or where we're looking to put roundabouts, and they track that data. Sometimes we have to help get that data into our systems to display it on a map, or we do drone flights to kind of just record what traffic patterns look like at certain times of the day to help make those kinds of decisions. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Or an aerial view of what it looks like.
Exactly.
And like where I think that people would love to see maybe a map of that,
Sure. Yeah.
A drone picture of, what that really looks like. It's hard to see when you're driving by, exactly what's going on or what trees are here or there or whatever. So yeah, I'm sure all of that is very helpful.
Yeah. And another, I did fail to mention earlier, some of our services, we also do work with the Board of Elections for the voter precincts and the voter districts. And anytime they do redistricting, we kind of help them out with that as well.
Oh, that's huge. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Wow. Anything else? Before we wrap it up, is there anything else?
No, just about everything you can think of. That's what we're looking for is the data so we can, provide some analysis and informed decisions to, help the county and help the citizens.
Absolutely. Well, it's a big job. Before I let you go, I failed to mention you. I meant to talk about you and how long you've been at Glynn County. What's your official title?
Oh.
It said like GISP, and somebody's like, I don't know what the P stands for. So tell us a little bit about yourself and your title.
Sure. So I'm the GIS manager at the county. I've been here about 17 and a half years. So I've started in the data collection here in GIS and kind of worked my way through. And my background is in IT. So my degree is in IT. And so I bring the IT element to the collection and analysis, storage and analysis of the data, where other people have their backgrounds in geography and those types of disciplines. The GISP is a GIS professional certification, which we three of us here in the GIS department just recently acquired. So part of getting the GISP is to you work on getting points and have your career, your points for your career, your education, and your contributions to the community evaluated. You take a professional exam, and that's how you achieve the GISP. And it provides a level of what is the word? Confidence that the person who's doing the work is qualified to perform the analysis and is taken an oath that to do it ethically, to analyze the data in an ethical manner and look at things that way. And also to give back to the community. GIS is a really fastly growing new discipline for people. So so we're doing some innovative things here.
Yes. And I'm sure you've seen the technology evolve and change over the years as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, what you were doing 17 years ago probably isn't what you're doing today. So
yes.
I'm sure
everything's getting smaller and faster, and but it's come a long way just in the time that I've been doing it.
So does that make your job easier or more complicated? it would to keep up with all that.
It makes it easier to collect and to use when you can use the technology correctly. It makes it easier, but the training and the understanding of how the technology works is a little more difficult sometimes.
I'm sure. Gosh, yeah, it takes you forever just to learn the new technology.
Yes.
Once you've got it, it's great. Yeah,
Yes.
that's great.
Absolutely.
Wow. Yeah. Well, that's awesome. Well, we are so appreciative of you and all that you do for Glynn County.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And thank you so much for being with us today.
All right. Thank you very much.
Okay. Have a great day.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. Well, thanks for having us again this month, Avery. We're looking forward to the nice weather happening, all the stuff that's going to happen at the beach. And, one thing I forgot to mention, too, there's a lot that goes on over at Blythe Island Regional Park, too. So that's a big spot during the summer months. In fact, just this past March was one of the biggest months that we've had in a long time for the RVs. And just business out there. So that's a gem that we have that a lot of people don't realize is there. And so we'll try and maybe even do a segment from Blythe Island Regional Park sometime just to give it a little bit of a promotion. But again, thank you. Appreciate everything. And then we'll see you in May.
Okay. Sounds great. Yeah, we're looking forward to it. Thank you. Okay. Bye-bye. Thank you for watching this episode of Good News Glynn. Stay tuned for more Golden Isles TV coming up next.